season of mists, my children! That idiot in the hat over there decided to skip over this issue during his Sandman retrospective. So let's actually sit and talk about Chapter 4 of the storyline, in which the dead return, and Charles Rowland concludes his education. It is December of 1990, and Charles Rowland is dying. The young boy is in the attic of his boarding school and talking to his only friend, a ghost named Pain. He is fading in and out of consciousness, dreaming of worms wriggling through his skin, of the skeletons of birds falling from the sky like snow and crunching beneath his feet, the world covered in dead birds trying to fly. So, normal dreams for a young boy. It's Sunday morning as he hears the church hymnals and wonders what it is that such beings pray to. So let's back up a bit to explain this, shall we? 6 days ago, Charles was the only child left in the St. Hilarions School for Boys. His father is a soldier in Kuwait who has been taken hostage, so obviously going home or overseas is not an option for the child. Still, both the headmaster and matron are staying on at the school over the holidays, so there are people to take care of him and feed him. But the school is otherwise deserted. Aside from the ghosts, of course, the school belongs to the dead. All the other kids who sat at your desk or slept in your bed or ran down the corridors 100 years ago. Even when you're alone, you're not alone. So let's back up a bit more. This is Chapter 4 of The Season of Mists, a storyline in the Sandman where Lucifer, the devil himself, has quit. He empties hell, letting all of the demons and the damned souls go where they like, and gives the key to hell to Morpheus, the Lord of Dreams. But the dead, having nowhere else to go, end up in lots of places, including the boarding school. The dying Charles asks Pain where he went after he died, and he's pretty sure he was in hell. It was a nightmare for 75 years, walking down endless corridors, always feeling like something was chasing him, and if he ever stopped, it would get him. Some speculate that the back rooms are hell, so... Recalling back 5 days before, he goes to the headmaster and discovers the headmaster's mother there doting on him, in a quite controlling manner, insisting that he is not the headmaster, but his mother's little boy, which he capitulates to. The matron is not much better. When he arrives, he discovers she is doting on her children, one who died of cot death, and the other who was never actually born. He was a miscarriage when she got German measles. It says hi to Charles. So babies and the unborn go to hell in the Sandman universe? In the attic, Pain explains that he brought Charles there because that's where his bones are, still in a trunk from when a group of devil-worshipping children murdered him. And soon we see the events leading up to poor Charles's death as 3 undead bullies wake him up to torture him. Likely the same devil-worshipping ones, given how the new old undead headmaster, Parkinson, berates them. And he intends to restore the school to its former glory, especially force the undead who all died here, of which there are many, hangings, drug overdoses, etc., to study. It is a school, after all. After a hard day amongst the dead, Charles went to the school kitchen after lights out to try to find some food, but only found the bullies. They admit that when they got to hell, the demons didn't care about the evil they had done. They just laughed about trying to kill for power, and thus, since they are such horrible little boys, they properly torture him, burning and stabbing him until he passes out. That's where Pain found him and brought him to the attic. He died from lack of food, the cold, and the untended injuries, and is met by Death, who's ready to take him to what lies beyond. However, she admits that Pain can't come along. He was already taken after all. But as a result, Charles refuses to leave. After all, he is the only one who's shown any kindness during this ordeal. With all the other chaos caused by Hell's closure, Death decides to let him be, promising to catch up with him later. Charles decides that they're not going to stay up in that attic, nor in the school at all. They're going to venture out and see the world. It's all part of growing up, after all. You always have to leave something behind you. Charles thinks that hell is a place you carry with you, not a place to go to. All the ghosts at the school are just doing what they did in life over again. They're doing it to themselves. That is hell. Having been in hell, Payne disagrees, but he also thinks that you don't have to stay anywhere forever. Which is why I'm so happy, my children, that you spend all the time you do with me.